right, we're live. Hello. Hello. I'm really enjoying going live. Sorry we had to miss last week. Welcome back to Price Book Wednesdays, where we talk price books on Wednesdays. I got to think of like a opening line. I'm good at talking, I guess, but I've never done lives like this. Not really a good teacher or speaker. Okay. It'd be cool. I have the ability to make an opening video, and that might be fun. It'd be cool. The first time I saw it, my instant thought was kind of like like a movie where price book ninjas came from either side and boom, came together. Price book ninjas. That'd be cool. That'd be funsies. All right, we are going to be talking about price books. We're going to be getting into the plumbing book. We're just going to talk about adding services, adding material, operating the spreadsheet. And a few weeks ago, we were able to let you know about our simulator, and that we wanted to keep secret, but we have a not so secret tool anymore because it should be released pretty quickly. And this was a really fun idea that we were able to make happen very quickly. All right, let me share my screen. We have a screen being shared. We got a Housecall Pro account. Let's bring over the Housecall. I'm going to grab a spreadsheet. If anybody's here and you have any questions, please go ahead and drop them. They don't have to pertain to so much what we're doing. If you have a question about your price book, and let me make sure that I can see the comments. We did have an issue sometimes where I cannot see the comments. I can see them only afterward. So if you do leave a comment then, and I can't see it, we will respond to it. But that's only if, just in case. All right, let's get a spreadsheet up. What we were able to build was a really cool Google Chrome extension for Housecall Pro. So you can be in your Housecall Pro and submit an edit to us. It's pretty cool. Why am I lost? That's why I'm in the wrong profile. Okay, so we're inside of a Housecall Pro. We'll go to plumbing. This does need some work. This is just in its really early stage so far. But we would add the extension. Oh gosh. It's on my other profile. I'm very sorry. What is happening? Let's get that up. Contact. Boom. We'll log right in. Ready to go. Sorry, a lot of profiles, different sides. We would be inside of the price book. Wherever you would need to make your edits, we would load up the extension and it would capture the next item that you would click on. So it still needs a lot of work, and my developer's working on it now, and it would capture that and select here, and it would show a water heater, and you can write what your corrected value is and notes. And let's go into one, and we'll go into a service. You can then click on all sorts of things, right? The task code, description, name there, really whatever, and send that over to us. So it's pretty cool. So this needs a lot of work, probably a long little bit to get going, but we're working on it, and we would just send those edits and they would head over to us. So this is something I'm really excited about. I think it'd really help all of our Housecall Pro users. Just, you don't want to be on different platforms. You want to be inside of your Housecall. That's understood. So how can we bring the tools there so you don't need to go to other platforms? Okay. Plumbing price book. Sorry, I rushed. I didn't prepare to have this stuff ready, and I'm sorry. Had a late dinner and came running right to the computer. Oh, and I need to change how my screen is shared. So this is going to be our test plumbing book, and right now it's directly linked to our book inside of Housecall Pro. So if these are the same exact services that are there. If we were to do any edits, then we would push an update. And on previous lives, we have done updates. If we have enough time today, we will do another update. So looking at the spreadsheet, I know sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. Think of it as, right, it's a piece of software. It just looks like a spreadsheet, but it is very smart. So as you're going through, whether you're new to it or you're existing, when you're creating services, you go left to right, you fill in your holes as you're needed. And when you're adding material, things are copy and paste. So that's what we're going to touch on: adding a line, adding your service, adding material, editing your material inside of your material tab, and completing a whole row. Okay. We'll do a service here in dishwasher. And let's see, what can we do for a dishwasher that could be a service? We have customer supplied dishwasher installation, but we kind of have what's covered on dishwashers. Dishwasher drain. Where did it go? Here we go. Something happened where my keyboard wouldn't type. Okay. So we'll do dishwasher drain. And as we enter our values, there's going to be items that are going to take place, like plumbing populated. So that'll auto-populate. What's going to start happening is your task code is going to start populating. So we already have a couple of items that will populate in the task code. Here we are for the dishwasher drain. We have plumbing. We have the subcategory initials, DW for dishwasher, and then 5, this is the 5th service. The last digit that we would need to enter would be the labor time, unless we wanted to add allowed spend. So I know we don't have a dishwasher drain in here. It's very rare that a plumber would be replacing a whole dishwasher drain. But what we're going to do is we are going to now make the part. I'm going to copy this and put it in. We have our part, but we have an issue that the part is not found. It doesn't exist in the database. So we're going to take it and head it back to our material. And we will want to put it where items are close by. With the dishwasher, we don't have many like items. So we'll just put it in right here. But otherwise, you would want to be searching for your categories that belong to it. We have our braided supply lines in that category. We have our shut-off valves within the category for valves. So we would come in and enter your part, and you need to enter your price now. Let's say it's $25. As soon as we enter this, it's going to auto-populate the price with the markup based off of what the markup and tax page has dictated for our markup. Oh, let me get back to the material. And then some items that you can fill in here if you choose. And this is mostly for items like machine fees or permit fees, your sort of fees where you don't need them marked up and they don't need tax, right? You can leave them on. This is your part tax where you would be charging tax for the part used because you got to pay the supply house. So we would want these both on because we want the markup and we want to charge tax on it. So we make sure that we cover our bills. Then these two columns send information to Housecall Pro. This is how you want your material to run. So we do, if you're not doing tax to your clients and you pay tax at the supply house, this is always false. And we send to Housecall Pro the markup to be true, to send that signal to them, so that if you need to use your material inside of your book, then it has the markup on it. We want to make that profit on it. So we're going to head back, and we have dishwasher drain now, that part included. We always want to add a miscellaneous part, right? Miscellaneous part cost, so there's always an item there. And then we just give it a moment, the quantity will populate to 1, right? Auto populate, so you don't have to think about it. Then you want to fill as many parts in as that you need to go across. And that's it, you just fill in the open hole, the part column. If you feel there needs an extra part on that, like here, this dishwasher disposal hose, right? Whatever you need added to it. And you would then move over to the end, and this button above E will close all your part categories or your part columns. And we have our calculation starting to happen. Then we would put in our labor time. So we'll do 60 minutes for this. And everything else will populate for your price to customer, your service cost, and this is information that's already flowing to the upload doc. So dishwasher drain right here, it's populated, ready to go. The thing that we're missing is the description and if we want taxable on the service. So the task code has been being built that whole time. It took the industry, the category, the number of the service, it took the labor time. Then the last thing is if we want to put in allowed spend. We'll put $25 in because that's the cost of the primary part, that dishwasher drain. So our task code is complete. Now you just need to send the rest of the info to Housecall Pro. If you want it to be taxable, if you are if you do not charge tax to your customer, you want this to be false. And if you do not want online booking, you want that to be false. If you do charge tax to your customers, you want this to be true. And if you want online booking, you want this to be true. And then the last thing you need to do is make a description. What you can do if you're DIY is take this, use ChatGPT, copy a handful of them, ones that are close by that, that relate, feed it to ChatGPT and say, I need a description like this. And as soon as you get the hang of your descriptions, it won't be bad doing it. And then you would make your description to whatever you need. So that is entering a service. To get going from here, as soon as you enter your description, test description, I can't spell, we'll get into the upload doc. And this is where you're going to take it to Housecall Pro and get your upload done. Let's, though, delete this line. And we will do the upload. That's one house call. I don't want to use that one. That's my demo. Here we go. This is the one that I want to use. It's also my demo, but different accounts. Different Google profiles. You would take your book. Do you want to download? We want to download CSV always. These other formats aren't recognized by Housecall Pro besides the Excel XLSX. The way this downloads is it downloads the entire book. So when you do your upload, you have to choose the tab that you need. CSV will download just the tab that we're on. We want plumbing services. CSV download, we got that downloaded. Housecall Pro. we would go into the price book settings, import. We do have some videos on this on YouTube. You can choose upload file, where you can go into your download manager and find the last thing you downloaded. So the CSV file is right here. Or you can, in your downloads here, drag and drop. That's what I like. I hate like the file managers. Gosh, I'm not good with that. Okay. We look to be good here. We're not gonna submit the whole upload because we have our book uploaded. We have our book uploaded, built out with the Housecall Pro flat rate calculator. If we push an update, we'll override that. It won't do much besides needing to go back and trigger 200 times manually. But all of our values, it's just matching our values. Click through, and this is where we're going to end it. This is where it does its final checks to make sure it's correct. And we're already seeing it started here. It's valid 225. And then we would click submit and it would upload. Let's exit. If there were any issues, this will turn red and there'll be a value number here. And you just scan your sheet where that error is. And the cool thing is you can make edits here. So if you didn't like that price or there was an issue in that one, you could change it and then upload it. So it's pretty cool. Housecall Pro is definitely very advanced. I know they got their bugs, but it's a very good software. It's not like the others in its class. I don't want to go down talking the other softwares, but we don't support them. We don't support them. So we ran through how to add a service. Now, if you look back in some of our other videos, I believe they get deleted every so often, but if you can go back a few weeks, we discuss how to create templates. So you can build templates from your book live in Housecall Pro. We discuss some various other items. I'm trying to think. I'm having a brain fart. Sorry. So we've done that. Now we're just going to run through some of the tabs along the sheet. Our newly added is a change log. This you guys won't be seeing. It's just if a book is under our control, we're having edits be sent to us. But this is the plumbing service tab. Service fee list is where you change your rates. This would relate to Housecall Pro, where you put your hourly rate. And where we recommend putting items like your after hours trip charge, your dispatch fee, your diagnostic fee. These are things that generally are not taxed, not marked up. And then we can attach to other jobs. So then you could come in and have it in one place and it changes throughout many. So again, this is the change log. So this is what we see on our side if you were to be using our Pricebook simulator. So it all comes back to us, but you guys won't be seeing this. Our markup and tax page. This is if you are charging tax, or excuse me, if you have to pay for tax at the supply house, we put in your sales tax rate. So we're covering the sales tax within your book on all of your parts, right? We want to make sure that those numbers are covered. Then we have our pricing matrix markup. The pricing matrix in this situation has a different markup than the regular material inside of the service price book. We are working on a solution for this, but it's really kind of crazy. So I want to touch on this. It's going to be something that's coming out. With the material, when we put material into the job, it's a bunch of little parts. And those little parts all get marked up individually and then added together. Whereas the pricing matrix is one whole number. So the part cost is, let's say, $100. We had different versions previously where we tried to mark up, and then we worked on another scaling markup. but it had to be a little bit more inflated to cover those different part costs, because within a book, it's really interesting. It took a lot of thinking, and we're still not done. When you attach all these parts, let's zoom out on this. HVAC is a little different because there's a lot of like singular replacement parts, but for HVAC, for condenser replacements, or excuse me, not condenser replacements, but coil replacements, compressor replacements, inside coil replacements, that takes many parts. But for plumbing, there's always a lot of kind of parts involved, especially like water heaters. So look at this, like the water heater, the amount of parts. So you end up making more because of this. So we have been working to eliminate the pricing matrix markup to only use one markup, which would be this one part markup. And it'll then make it truly be able to work with Housecall Pro, where we can fully build it out. And it's kind of cool. We're trying to move from the spreadsheet, right? So any solutions we can make, but it's really exciting. So for now in the spreadsheet, it's this way, but that's not for long, where we're going to be using one markup across the board. So you're not getting confused. This here is your markup for your service price book. And then we have options like a low, medium, high that you can change your markup pretty quickly. And then again, this is all copy and pastable right to Housecall Pro. Well, let's take you to Housecall. I don't know how this works, but a boy dreams, right? I want to make this as easy as possible for users. So whether it's on our platform where there's the guides, the walking step by step where you have to come in and you have the sidebar for a few items. When you get into your material, you have your markups, but it would be really cool to be able to come in here and change your markup quickly. You can come in here and you have to edit it, but by one. So one day somehow, you got to give us a little while though. We're really trying to create these new items. We're really on a roll. But it's testing, working, and slowly but surely, just stick around and they're coming. Let's head back. So then there's our pricing matrix. This we're still trying to make a little prettier also. We are working on trying to make this look like the price book where all the categories are colored, because this has got awfully ugly. Absolutely. I understand that. But it's data. We need the calculations. This is pretty set unless you wanted to add more rows. But for this, it's controlled through the other tabs, your hourly rate and your markup. So this is just the tough part, but we wanted to make it a little bit more visually appealing. Then we have our material list, right? We were just going over this where you can add your, let's delete that. Add your material, you have your checkboxes to send to Housecall Pro. This, we're going to skip over this tab. This is something that, not that we're working on, but it was a test. And I probably should take it out of the price book that I show. Our upload doc that pulls all of our information automatically, so you don't need to do it. This is unlocked, but it is very safe. Cool feature, super cool feature. It's unlocked, but it's safe. The reason that it's unlocked is because sometimes when you're uploading a book fresh, you have categorization already and you want to add our book separately. Within this upload doc, you can add a new column to the left and you have to type in category. Let's make sure I'm spelling it right. Category. It'll auto change these next two columns to be subcategory 1 and subcategory 2. So it's already started to auto map to Housecall Pro. We just need to put in here PN rough draft book. And we drag that down and we have entirely recategorized Housecall Pro, and you would have no difference. Actually, hell, let's do it because we have our book uploaded, so we'll upload this separately next to it. Funsies. Okay, download. Boom, downloaded Housecall Pro. I'm not gonna kind of walk through the step by step. We only have a few more minutes and I think we can get it done. Let's try. Funsies. So all we did was we remapped a category, and because of that, if you have your existing book, that's your main category. So we just injected the new category saying, hey, Housecall Pro, add this to my categories, but add it under this name. But then inside of this name, put in this entire price book. Everything looks like it's matching already. Categories, subcategories 1 and 2, very cool. Names, price. Let's scroll down a little bit. Taxable, cool. 3 minutes. We'll stay longer. Already getting the valid 225. Come on. So yeah, that's a really cool little thing that we have. Sorry, I took it from the spreadsheet. And while it's uploading, we'll head back. So we do have this really cool little thing. And now as soon as we delete this, it's going to go back to how it was. So we can then re-put our book back. So let's say you're done. You figured out what you want to do with your existing book. You deleted it. You want to fresh upload it. It's just back ready as normal. We have the same for our pricing matrix upload doc, same sort of thing. It pulls from the pricing matrix. This only changes a couple of times if you change your hourly rate or markup. And then your material markup if you desire to have it up. Okay, let's go to Housecall Pro. Let's give it a refresh. Let's see if I'm getting an email. Not yet. Not yet. Let's head to the price book. Still no email yet. Come on. It'll load at the bottom. There, Pricebook Ninja's rough draft. So we were able to just manipulate it ever so quickly, and we got that book loaded up. It's going to take a little bit to get the rest of it up. Let's do a refresh, and we're loaded up. And I just got the email. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. We will figure out what we'll do for next week. Hopefully we have the extension. I sent it to my developer. So he was working on it. He started working on it today. Just in line of different things he has to do. I think this is, I don't want to say an easy task for him, but I think the basics is just a few days of coding, and then to really get it working. But we have to figure out how to make it repeatable. That's the thing, is that we've been kind of working on trying to figure out how to make it repeatable, and because that's the big one, is that we have to have it user associated and all of that. But it's really cool. I can't wait till that's live. That one I'm very, very excited for. I'm very excited about the simulator. We'll touch back on the simulator next week, and that you get access to if you're a member. That's really cool. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining. Until next time, next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time. See you then.